Welcome back to another Jaff Reviews for you. And as you saw in this video, we are looking at a home backup or a battery backup from AllPowers. This is going to be super awesome. You know what though? Enough talk. Let's get right into this review. The AllPowers R1500 has a battery capacity of 1152 watt hours and it's 110 volts. It does offer fast charging with 1500 watt max charging, which means you can go from 0% all the way up to 80% in about 40 minutes. It also offers solar charging with up to a 650 watt solar panel. That's pretty impressive for a power bank. The company tells us that you could have over 3,500 cycles, meaning you can utilize the entire battery, recharge it every day for up to 10 years before the batteries would start to lose power. And even at that point, they would go down to about 80%. Also, this unit offers a 6-year warranty. The most impressive part, however, is this has 11 different ports. Let's count the ports together. First two are right on top, and these are wireless charging stations, so you can just set your phone down there and they wirelessly will charge your phone. We have two USB-A 18 watt ports. We have two USB-C 100 watt ports. We have one DC output that's 12 volts and 10 amps. Then of course we have 4 AC outputs down here that are between 100 and 120 volts. If we look to the left side, we have this little access panel. By pushing this part open, we have right here our AC charger, we have our solar charger, and then of course we have our AC overload protection, meaning if your system gets overloaded, you push this button to reset it. Of course, on the other end, if we push the button and open it up, you can actually expand this to up to 2 additional battery pack, thus increasing your total power. If we continue talking about product specs, it's about 36.5 pounds. From left to right, it's 16.25 inches. From front to back, it is 10.43 inches. And from top to bottom, it is 12.28 inches. It's a good size unit. Right out of the box, we already had greater than 80% charge. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just charge this up to full and then we're gonna get the test started. But look at the input right now I have. That's above 80%, but 820 watts of input, that's a fast charge. We are quickly approaching that 100% mark, and after about 80%, your wattage drops down to that like 255 range that we are right now. What I like about this is I can actually set this on top. And I don't know if you just saw that, but my phone is charging. So this has pass-through charging. So not only is it charging the AllPowers unit, but it's also charging my phone at the same time. Very convenient. This is really a basic way to show you pass-through charging. You can also plug things in the different ports. While this is connected to live power, you can actually utilize this to power other devices too. It's a really cool feature for these power banks. We are all charged up with our AllPowers power bank and we are getting ready to go test it out. But guess what? Our power in the house went out. That is both frustrating and convenient. What I'm going to do though is I want to actually try now the refrigerator plugged into here. Hopefully the power comes back on before this power bank drains, but I'm looking forward to see how long this will actually keep my refrigerator running. We have our plug plugged in. Now we're going to push the button to actually get this thing fired up. We're going to see what happens on our display screen right here. Right now we're showing 0 watts in, 0 watts out. Hopefully that'll change. Oh, there we go. We have some wattage out. Very cool. That means our refrigerator should be up and running. Based on our display, this AllPowers power bank should power a refrigerator for about 5 hours. At least that's what it's telling us. I'll keep you posted along the journey. Let's take a look in there. Is it all lit up? It all is lit up. I'm gonna go, can't push any further because I'll hit the camera, but everything looks cold in there. We're now 2 hours in. You can see that we have 73% of our battery left, but check this out down here. It says that there are 6 hours remaining. Remember when we started, it said 5 hours? Well, what I've noticed is the wattage of output has changed. And every time it drops, the hours of consumption that are available left goes up and down. So that's actually kind of neat, but this thing is still running strong. Our refrigerator is still going well. We're just hoping the power comes on soon. The power here at the house has been returned, but I want to still run my refrigerator off of our AllPowers unit. This has been running now for 5 hours. As you can see, we have 34% battery left. We are pulling a lot of wattage right now, 241. It's telling us we have an hour left, but I still want to see how long this will go. So we'll check back in towards the end of this battery's life. And there we have it at the 7 hour mark. Our AllPowers battery backup has stopped powering our refrigerator. We've of course plugged it back in, but we got as far down as 5% and it lasted 7 hours. That's pretty impressive. Now I'm going to charge this back up and use it again tomorrow. Since we used up the battery yesterday powering the refrigerator, I'm going to start the charging process today. And I thought, man, it'd be a great time to showcase this solar panel that comes for the AllPowers system. This is actually called the AllPowers SP027. It is $140. It's a foldable solar panel. It's 100 watts and it has an IP66 weather rating. As you notice from the cable hanging down, that connects directly into the port on the side of our power bank. But the cool thing is, AllPowers has included other types of ports. So if you have a different power bank, there's a good chance that you can also charge that with this solar panel as well. Let's hook it up and start the charging. As you can see, we have assembled the quick connect. So now we have our AllPowers port right there plugged in, ready to charge up our battery. I know it's hard to see this right here, but there are these legs that just pop out from the back of the solar panel to help it stay in place. And yes, I do have it facing the sun. Today's supposed to be a relatively clear day with no clouds, a lot of sun coverage. I'm excited for this test. Right now, I do have this power bank out here in the sun. It's not something I would typically do, and I'll probably will have it covered for most of this part of the review. You shouldn't really leave a power bank outside exposed to the sun. I just had it here set up for filming. I just want to make sure people were aware of that. Don't leave it out in the sun. You don't want that battery pack getting too hot. I ended up moving the power bank just underneath the solar panel, sort of an angle, because it was getting hot, at least hotter than I like. But look at this. Right now we have a pretty decent 71 watts of input coming in. We've charged this at least 1% over the last 30 minutes or so. That's actually pretty impressive. Now, the amount of input is all dependent upon the sun and the placement of the solar panel, so I have adjusted it a few times. But I'm pretty impressed with these solar panels. It's hard to get a clear picture, so I'm trying to block the reflection of the grass. But if you can see that, we are about an hour and a half into this charge. We now have 78 watts of input, and we've gotten up to 13%. We are just about done here. The sun is really going down. There's only 7 watts of input coming in, and so I'm just going to close everything up. But look at that, 46%. We went from 6 all the way up to 40 in about 8 hours. Not as much as I would have liked to have gone, but that is cool that we got 40% of this battery recharged just from the sun. Now we folded up our AllPower solar panel. Next time it's a sunny day, we'll bring it out and use it again. So tell me, what are your thoughts of the AllPowers R1500? Something you'd look into? Not so much? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. We've actually run our battery completely down to zero. Not necessarily the best thing you can do for these power banks, but I do want to get a time from 0 all the way up to full. And then once it's full, we're going to utilize it for some real life things like brewing some coffee. Right now we've been charging for an hour. We're about 1,000 watts of our input. It just goes up and down right around 1,000 though. It tells us right around 49 minutes to continue charging. So I haven't necessarily hit that 80% in under an hour, but it is charging pretty quick. It took 1 hour and 30 minutes for us to go from completely empty all the way up to fully charged, which in my opinion is pretty impressive for a power bank of this size. We made sure to unplug our power bank. Now we are going to actually turn on our coffee pot and start the process. Look at that jump immediately. Look at that, almost 1,400 watts is our output. That is a lot. I'm excited to see if this will work because you know what? If it's morning and I'm camping, I want a cup of coffee. Will this power bank help us out? Our coffee pot is telling us we are heated up, but look at that. It used 3% of our battery. Let's brew our first cup utilizing the AllPowers power bank. Like a champ. There it is. We did not even trip off the AllPowers power bank. It handled it without issue. In this video, we were taking a look at a power bank from AllPowers. This is the R1500 line, and well, what did we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point, $500. And that may sound like a lot of money, and it is, but it's half the price of its competitors for a comparable unit. That is pretty impressive. Not to mention fully charged from 0 to 100% in an hour and a half. That is also very, very convenient, especially if you're experiencing power outages. In this video, we really put the AllPowers R1500 to the test. This is not really meant to run a refrigerator or a coffee pot or even a toaster. It's meant for smaller items like a CPAP, charge your phone, and those kind of things, even lights to power up your house. So we saw with those big items, this thing did a great job for hours, meaning You can run lights and other things for days. That's really, really convenient, especially if you experience a power outage. That being said, the consumption and the length of time these last all depends on what you're actually plugging into it. And let's talk about the plugs. 11 different ways that you can power devices. That's also super convenient. We also looked at a solar panel, and this was a 100-watt solar panel, and it retailed for right around $140. And after doing my research, that was mid to high end on the price point for a 100-watt solar panel. I will say though, this one did come with different ports that you can connect to other power banks. So if you don't want to be restricted to just AllPowers, that's a really convenient item as well. One final thing is I appreciate that this gives you the option to add extra batteries, and they actually have different packages where you can buy the main power bank and then add batteries. That's convenient too, because it just increases your storage capacity. Anyway, that was my full review of the R1500, the AllPowers power bank. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. We saw that the AllPowers power bank did a great job brewing our coffee. What we're going to do now is I'm going to brew coffee again at the same time while making toast. This is about a 700-watt toaster. Wow, this is a big test for this little power bank. We powered on our coffee pot, and let's hit that toaster button. Wow, can you see that wattage jump? We've jumped to almost 2,000 watts of power now. It doesn't take a whole long time for this coffee pot to heat up. Actually, I think it's heated now. So we were able to get to 2,000 watts, and guess what? We are still making toast. Cool thing, the AllPowers power bank stayed on and did not trip. That's a great amount of wattage that it was able to use at one time. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of this AllPowers power bank. You know what? It's not the first power bank that I review. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link up another one right up here, and I would love it if you would click on that link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.